This club means everything to the people. So it's our job to show that it means absolutely everything for us as well. It's a lot about emotion, the intensity, how the supporters live. Well, did you ever hear a better message than "You'll Never Walk Alone"? It's the most beautiful song in the world. Everybody feels it, everybody loves it, and everybody gets the message. In your darkest moments, you are not alone. I love that. We are Liverpool. And that means we have to entertain the people, and we have to show all the desire, to show all the love for the game. We will all be together soon. There will be a moment for us. For now, tell the world, we are Liverpool, champions of England.
When you
Liverpool are champions
through a storm,
this is the man they love.
hold your head up high,
And the noise of that crowd says it all.
and don't be afraid
Dalglish is in here,
of the dark.
and Barnes again. And the sun shines now.
At the end of a storm, there's a goal.
Jurgen Klopp has today been appointed the manager of Liverpool Football Club.
And the sweet silver song of love.
Now here they come. It all starts here.
Walk on
Salah scores!
through the rain.
Alexander Arnold!
Walk on through the rain. For your dreams.
Robertson, great ball in! Salah! Oh! Evan Origi on Derby Day! And Salah for Liverpool! Oh, it's Sadio Mane! Fabinho with the strike! Oh my word! Firmino! Henderson! It's there!
You'll never walk alone. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
Okay, you never walk alone. It's about the most popular club team song you can get anywhere around the world. And it belongs to Liverpool Football Club of England. I tell you what, all Liverpool fans all over the world are happy and celebrating because the COVID-19 fiasco was this close to denying them a record return to glory in England. Liverpool are champions of England after 30 years. They have every reason to sing "You Never Walk Alone." We also say you are not alone right now. We are back with the best of football all around the world. Emenike Agu is my name, and we are talking football. It's total football right here. We'll keep you up to speed on what's happening around the world. We say thank God COVID-19 fiasco could not kill football, and football is back. And so total football is back. This is the month of productivity. Your prayers are producing results all over the world. And I tell you, life is returning to super normal, and the devil is put to shame. Let's talk football right here, and we've got so much for you. We got a talking point, of course. Our talking point, we always give you something to talk about on each show. And on this particular occasion, we are looking at post-COVID-19 football across Europe, across the world, across Africa, and in Nigeria particularly. Has football been affected by the fiasco? All right. A seasoned journalist will be doing justice to all of this. A seasoned sports journalist, you probably will know him, Omar Akatuba, who is now based in Germany. When it's time, we will be bringing him in to talk on this very important topic. Post-19 football around the world. To be or not to be, football, will it be the same after this fiasco? All right, welcome and settle down. We've got so much to talk about. We've got so much to look at. Cristiano Ronaldo continues to make history, continues to make news, all in the right direction. And that's happening from the Serie A in Italy. And of course, you cross over to La Liga, where Barcelona talisman, as they call him, Messi, Lionel Messi, is back in the news. And that news, we tell you, is one news you and I have been expecting to hear for as many years as possible. Is Lionel Messi going to leave Barcelona? News filtered into town just a few days back that he may be rejoining and team up with his coach, Pep Guardiola, in Manchester City. I'm sure it's not the first time you are hearing that news. But just as that is happening, the president of Barcelona says, hey, you guys, Messi is going nowhere. Messi is retiring here in Barcelona. All right. All of that will be part of the show today. And of course, with Omar Akatuba, we cannot but talk the German league, the Bundesliga. Stay with us right here. It's Total Football Time. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll serve you the latest in the world of football. Don't go away.
We missed you, football. We missed the goosebumps, the hope, the despair, and the glory. We missed the laughs, the drama, the shock, and the ridiculous. We even missed the arguments. We missed you, football, and it's great to have you back.
3,653 days snowballed into 10 years of victories, 10 years of impact, 10 years of beauty, 10 years of excellence, and 10 years of successes. Thank you, our dear esteemed partners. You made the years worth its while. For your unflinching support, your seeds of love, for standing with us through and through, thank you. It's our festival of vibes.
Because of you, Lovo Plus spanned all around the world. Because you gave, the Word of God spiraled into homes and lives in the world all over, bringing the gospel to millions, wroughing miracles with signs and wonders following. It's been 10 glorious years with an avalanche of testimonies. Our story won't be complete without you. Thank you, our esteemed partners. You made it happen. It's our festival of vibes.
From Lagos
to London, from Johannesburg
for several years, our economy
to the United States,
identifying houses of worship. We have all the world covered for you, no matter where you are.
Love with News is at the heart of it all.
I have experience.
We bring you our perspectives of stories behind the story.
The signs given to us for the entry of these things are before us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us on this station.
This club means everything to the people. So it's our job to show that it means absolutely everything for us as well. It's a lot about emotion, the intensity, how the supporters live. Where did you ever hear a better message than "You'll Never Walk Alone"? It's the most beautiful song in the world. Everybody feels it, everybody loves it, and everybody gets the message. In your darkest moments, you are not alone. I love that. We are Liverpool. And that means we have to entertain the people, and we have to show all the desire, to show all the love for the game. We will all be together soon. There will be a moment for us. For now, tell the world, we are Liverpool, champions of England.
When you
Liverpool are champions
through a storm,
this is the man they love.
hold your head up high,
And the noise of that crowd says it all.
and don't be afraid.
Dalglish is in here.
Of the light.
And Barnes again.
And the sun shines now.
At the end of a storm, there's a goal.
Jurgen Klopp has today been appointed the manager of Liverpool Football Club.
And the sweet silver song of love.
Now here they come. It all starts here. Salah scores!
Through the rain,
Alexander-Arnold!
through the rain,
the strike. Oh my word! Firmino! And the shot! It's there!
Okay, so great to have you back, and it's still Total Football. We're reaching you live from the studios of Love World Plus. Wherever you're watching us around the world, we do it here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. local time. That's 16:00 hour +1 GMT. And I'm joined right here now by this super analysts and 5 and 6 sub 9, false 9, whatever you call him, Bala Okidiave and Paul Ewurum. Guys, nice to have you guys. Nice to have you guys.
It's always a pleasure to be on this platform to talk football, especially. We see that in Europe it's reaching crescendo point, and there is no other platform to discuss about it except on Total Football. Right.
And champions are beginning to emerge across Europe. Liverpool champions again in England after 30 years. My worry really is in Germany, who will stop Bayern Munich? I want to see a team that will stop Bayern Munich. Not Leipzig, not Dortmund. Who will stop Bayern Munich?
The thing about the modern game right now, if it's not fate or if it's not the god of soccer that is on you to perform a miracle like Leicester, like Dortmund, these days, what football is all about, it's about the big bucks. If the club doesn't, if a league, a particular club in a league is financially stable without other clubs being able to match up, trust me, that league keeps on going. That league keeps on saying
one-way traffic.
Yeah, like Juventus.
One-way traffic.
You see, like Juventus.
One horse race.
Stefan Effenberg once advised other clubs in the Bundesliga to ensure that they prevent Bayern from buying the best of the best players in the league. That this is one of the two, okay, that they use in on doing them in quotes.
In quotes.
You know.
In
so it's when you sell your best players to them. That is what they use in doing you.
Exactly my point. It looks like all the other teams in Germany are just producing players for Bayern to buy.
Exactly.
Record the days of Robert Lewandowski.
Prevent them from buying your best hands, and then you stand a chance.
Come on, you can't prevent them. This is big business.
It's not possible. This is because
sometimes there are some tactics you deploy in ensuring that this happens.
You know why I say it's not possible? Because it's about the players. The question is
about their career.
Does the player wants to leave? There's always a contract clause where a player wants to leave and he has been able to come in terms with everything. The club is being able to play his release clause. And again, another thing is the player wanting to leave. If all that is applied into a transfer, no club has any right to hold any player down.
All right, let's tell our viewer that that forms the basis for this show right now, post-pandemic football across the world. We are zeroing in to Europe and Nigeria, and there's no other better personality to do justice to this topic than this seasoned sports journalist who has seen it all, covering football in Africa and all around the world. His name is Omar Akatuba. Omar, do we have you online? Hello, Omar. Hello, Omar.
Great, I'm here.
Oh, good to see you. Hey, brother, you're looking good.
Thank you very much.
How are you? How have you been, man?
I'm very well, trying to stay safe in the face of a global pandemic. We thank God that no one very close to us have suffered any kind of illness. And that is the most important thing. Right now, they say if you're still healthy, you have made profit as a business person. Your biggest profit in 2020 is to be alive.
Is to stay alive. and God is making it possible for his children to remain alive and free from COVID-19, which has already become a fiasco, a pandemic turned debacle and fiasco. Omar, let's talk football right now. We're looking at football after this whole debacle. Will football remain the same again?
Interesting question. Well, football is already not the same again because the mind and soul of the game has been taken off it, and that is the fans. The fans play a major role in football around the world, especially in this country, Germany, where attendances at Bundesliga games are the highest in the whole of Europe. Of course, for the fact that tickets are very low. They say the price of a ticket in a Bundesliga game is same price to buy a burger in England. And that is why you have a very large turnout at Bundesliga games week in, week out. And that also talks about the importance of football fans in Germany. In Germany, there is what you call the 50+1 rule. I overheard you guys, or I listened to you guys talk about who will stop Bayern. And in my head, I answered Bayern. It's only Bayern that can stop Bayern because, you know, like one of your guys mentioned, you need all of the cola, all of the box to be able to compete at the highest level in European football. And because of the 50+1 rule in place in Germany, the 50+1 rule means that no private investor can own more than 49% share in a football club in Germany. The fans have a majority share. The fans have a say in the running and the ownership of football clubs. This somehow takes, affects the teams in terms of growing financially, because you look at England, you look at Italy, you look at England, Italy especially, you have a lot of investors pumping billions, which allows the club to be able to buy big players. But in Germany, it's not the same, but it has its positive, which is the clubs don't spend beyond their means. The clubs are financially healthy. German clubs are the most financially healthy clubs in Europe. They have a shoestring budget. They don't pay beyond their noses. So there's good financial state of health. But on the flip side, the clubs are not strong enough financially to even compete with Bayern domestically and then in Europe. That's why you see only Bayern can compete favorably in Europe. Somehow Dortmund, but they get to a particular point where you need all of the big name experience. And Dortmund don't have all of that. They have quality players, but young quality players who in no time are sold to the Barcelonas of this world, to the Real Madrids of this world, to the Inter Milans of this world.
And also to Bayern of this world.
Of course. No, that's the first part of
Let me ask you, Omar, let me ask you, Germany was first to return to football full-time in the lockdown. When you look at the game being played now in the Bundesliga and the game played pre-lockdown, what damage has this fiasco done to football?
It's done so much, mentally, physically, economically, and psychologically. Physically, the players were not 100%. You could see the drab football that was served across the league. Yes, the Bundesliga players kept training at home digitally, but football is a contact sport. Digital cannot take the place of the physical presence and the community feeling that football clubs and football players have when they train together. But of course, they return to training together earlier than many other clubs in Europe and then before games resumed. But you could see that the teams were still rusty. Even the players, I spoke with a couple of the Nigerian players in the Bundesliga. Some of them said to me that somehow psychologically they weren't there. They were on the pitch playing, but not 100% there with their heart, because there is the fear that there could be some kind of a spread as far as the coronavirus is concerned. So it has affected football physically, like I said, and then there's a part of the fans. They say football without fans is like tea without sugar, except you are diabetic. Now, that is an absolutely important, integral, key part of football. Like I said, especially in this country, the fan culture in Germany is mind-blowing. The fan culture in Germany is absolutely magnificent. and that has been taken away, and that begins, presents to you football like
Omar, I've got Bala Okidiave and Paul Ewurum who would also want to share, some things with you. Just stand by.
Yeah. So Omar, I'm about to ask you this question. We've seen how Europe has been able to fight the coronavirus fiasco and bring back football, and of course, new set of rules. Yeah. Where do you think Africa is lacking? Why has Africa been on the back foot when it comes to football coming back? Because we just hear Africa is changing days, AFCON is switching dates, but for the local leagues, it's total different story. What do you think Africa needs to apply?
Well, first thing first, I think that the reason why Africa is on the back foot is that football and sport in Africa is not economically viable enough. Because that the reason why many businesses were reopened around the world is the fear of total collapse. We all agree, right? And football is a major economic driver. In Germany, for example, football is a huge employer of labor. Football is a huge economic driver. The Bundesliga paid last season about 1.7 billion in taxes to the German government. That is a lot. So if you could open restaurants, why not football? But in Africa, the case is different. For example, with due respect, the Nigerian Premier League is at a very low level right now in terms of financial value. The league doesn't have a TV sponsor or a TV partner, which is a major chunk of revenue for football leagues around the world right now. The Nigerian League doesn't have that. Most of the clubs are not profitable. They are run by government. So because these are not major economic activities, there's less pressure for them to return. Because that's why you see that in Africa, a market can be reopened. A business can be reopened, but football cannot because it is not business. And I think that's the major problem. What we are lacking simply visionary leadership, because everything rises and falls on leadership. I think that those running football in Africa are still politicians. Look at Nigeria. The people running football somehow are puppets of politicians. And that is what gives them positions, the opportunity to run sports, which is not supposed to be so. Sports should be run by business people. But because business people are not running sports in Africa, it is not commercially viable and in turn cannot return in the face of a pandemic, because African football is not essential. I'm sorry to say.
Thank you, Omar. All right. Omar, so I'm sure Paul has a question for you also.
All right. We started talking about Bayern Munich dominance as far as the German Bundesliga is concerned. I want to look at it from another perspective. I want to operate from another point of view. Don't you feel that the managers of other teams aside Bayern Munich are lacking one way or the other in terms of coming up with the correct tactics to match Bayern Munich? Should we keep blaming it on the financial muscle of the Bavarians? Because I remember there was a time it wasn't like this. I remember there was a time Wolfsburg won the German Bundesliga when you had Edin Dzeko. I remember when Ottmar Hitzfeld was the manager of the Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund was winning the league. What has changed since then?
Well, really nothing has changed. What happened with Wolfsburg is an exception. And you must agree with me that the exception is never the rule. The rule here is that Bayern wins it, and the exception is that one team comes up once in a while to win it, which is normal in every situation. In England,
did you just say the rule is that Bayern wins it? Did you just say that?
Of course. Of course.
So are you saying it's political now? Are you saying it's a political football agenda that Bayern must
win it?
No, it's not.
My question now is that good for the league?
It's not good for the league. It doesn't even help the reputation of the league. Because there's the belief that the German league is weak because Bayern absolutely dominates the league. And that is not exactly true. There's competition in the league, except that Bayern is just way above the other competitors. It's not like how Real Madrid and Barcelona make La Liga look weak. But in the real sense of the word, it's not. That's why you see La Liga teams, the lower teams behind Barca, Real Madrid, Atletico, Valencia, go to Europe and do well in the Europa League, except for last season, where England dominated.
So we are going to pause you there. We're going to pause you there because our time is fast spent. But don't go. We are coming back to you. I was going to ask you this question to take us to pause you. You've seen the best of both worlds, you know, covering football in Africa, covering football all around the world. Now you are based in Germany. Talk to me in very few words. What do you think? How about the return of Liverpool, you know, as England, as champions of England after 30 years? We've talked about Bayern. Let's talk about Liverpool.
I think it's justice. It's like justice being served. Liverpool is like a guy who has been denied justice for many years, and then 30 years he gets his justice. They absolutely deserve it. Jurgen Klopp has built a formidable force, a formidable team that has conquered Europe, and then winning the Premier League was just a matter of when, not if. So I think they absolutely deserve it.
I like that. I like that. Okay, just hang on for now. The show is not all talk. I know with you, we can talk to you tomorrow. Okay. We are going to the field of play. We're going to go across Europe because that's the pattern on Total Football. Yeah. We're going to get some highlights, and when we come back, we conclude with Omar Katugba. Hang on there, brother, okay?
So, talking about highlights, we just spoke about Liverpool. Why not we cross over to the rivals and see what Manchester United?
Exactly. I was going to England.
A game that ended with 7 goals. Outstanding match for the Premier League side, and I'm sure for the Premier League.
That's Manchester United against Southampton.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Yes. Bournemouth. Interesting match. We wanted to see it, and we'll be back.
It's 3,653 days snowballed into 10 years of victories, 10 years of impact, 10 years of beauty, 10 years of excellence, and 10 years of successes. Thank you, our dear esteemed partners. You made the years worth its while. For your unflinching support, your seeds of love, for standing with us through and through. Thank you. It's our festival of vibes.
Against United, straight from a corner, same angle, much closer. What a start! Mason Greenwood with his 14th goal of the season, a finish that Ramsdale couldn't get to grips with. Minutes before half-time have turned it around to lead 2-1. Into the top right-hand corner, an absolutely sumptuous finish. And Mason Greenwood, with a little bit of twinkle toes, has smashed one this time with his right foot beyond Ramsdale. Fernandes waits, drives it straight past everybody, and United have 5. Fernandes' technique there.
Okay, great to have you back. Prince Emmanuel just making me smile at the background, enjoying all the goals from Leicester City, okay? That already takes us to the next talking point, which is another important match to be played in England today. But before we get to that point, Jimmy Vardy got his 100th goal in EPL in that match, and Nigeria's Kelechi Iheanacho was all praises for him. So how is Leicester going to come on the heels of that victory into today's game?
Well, they have a Herculean task. Arsenal on current form is not Crystal Palace. Arsenal are at home. Arsenal are in fine form. But then it depends on the kind of Arsenal that will show up tonight. it's pretty going to be difficult for Leicester City. But if Arsenal can put up the kind of performance we saw against Wolves in their last game, that is on the part of Arteta, game management, proper marksmanship, denying your opponent time and space, they stand a very better chance than
since you have already played the game. Because since you have already played the game in your head.
If you look at, we have the table, the EPL table. We have the EPL table, and we have, of course, the scores.
I think he's an Arsenal fan.
Yes, if you look at the scores, if you see, we have the scores that's on the page that we got. Arsenal beat Wolverhampton. And look at the table. Arsenal sit on 7 and Leicester sit on 3rd. Leicester is, I think Leicester is on the verge of dropping out from the top 3.
2015 champions, brother?
Yes, they are on the verge of dropping out.
Do you think Leicester will drop out of this table?
This particular game is an acid test for them. Okay, they've been here before. They are not rookies as far as this particular.
Just 3 points. Just 3 points from Manchester United.
Yes.
Look at the game. Just 3 points. If Arsenal can be able to beat Leicester, they jump up and Leicester drops
Bala, do you think Arsenal will do it?
Yes, because the Arsenal were able to beat a Wolves.
On paper.
On paper, Arsenal has a chance. But in reality, I will say 50-50.
50-50.
Arsenal is just like a football. They say football is like biscuit. You do not know where it will crack.
Let me ask Omar. Is Omar still with us in Germany?
Of course, I'm here.
Okay, brother, thank you for holding on. Yeah. This man is an Arsenal fan.
You just had to bring that out.
Omar, talk to us about EPL, tonight's game, Arsenal versus Leicester City. Nigeria's Kelechi Iheanacho is right there. And Wilfred Ndidi, of course, you know, is also another super regular for Leicester City. What do you think will happen in that game?
What I think will happen is that we're going to be seeing a very feisty game because Leicester, like you said, they don't want to drop off that Champions League spot because that's huge for them. In a league where you have like a top 6, for Leicester to have won the league a few years ago and then now they are back again in the top 4 contending for Champions League, it means a lot. I think that it's going to be a very competitive game. Leicester look like the ones who need it the most. Arsenal, of course, everyone needs it, but Leicester needs it the most. I feel that Leicester are in a better position to get 3 points in tonight's game. I don't want to take much of your time. I think that Leicester look like a team that would get the 3 points. But like your colleague said, it depends on the kind of Arsenal we're going to see tonight. But again, Arsenal, you never can tell. They're like a yo-yo. They're neither here nor there. But we hope that tonight they will be here.
The anti-Arsenals are already dancing. Thank God that it will not be decided in the studio. It will be decided on the field of play.
All right, thank you so much, Omar. I think at this point, we'll have to let it go. Thank you so much for finding time to share Total Football.
I really appreciate and I enjoyed myself.
Thank you so much. We will reach you again, okay? Keep kicking and keep staying safe, okay? God bless you. Thank you so much. Okay, that has been Omar Akatuba, seasoned Nigerian sports journalist based in Germany, sharing Total Football with us. Our time is far spent. Guys, we have to go.
So before our time goes,
we have to go. We have
to actually shut down. But after for 3 attempts and not scoring a free kick, I think we should round up with Ronaldo scoring.
Cristiano Ronaldo
scoring a free kick.
His first free kick in Serie A.
Before we talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't think it will be fair to Manchester United fans if we overlook the efforts of Mason Greenwood and Bruno Fernandes. Those 2 guys have been very scintillating. We just saw the highlights there.
Just like you would say.
They have sparked up the form of Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford.
I agree with you. You didn't talk about Dion Ighalo, Nigerians or Dion Ighalo in Manchester United. We have to go, guys.
Torino, AC Milan, who do you think is going to win? I mean, Juventus, AC Milan, the matches tonight?
Of course, the Bianconeri always have the edge.
I would love to see Ibrahimovic. I would love to see Ibrahimovic in that game. Okay, that will be it on Total Football this very beautiful day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paul. And of course, always a pleasure talking football with you and talking sports with you. He will be back. He will be back. He's a super regular on this program. On behalf of Bala Okidia-Vemenike is my name. We will leave you on this takeaway. Enjoy it, and we'll see you again same time next week.